conversion, which is extra important since we don't use SI units in everyday life here. So how do you guess with units? Okay? So for instance, if this problem, if you had no idea what molar mass was, and you had no idea this is some number, and you don't even really know what density is, you don't have this equation, you can still solve this problem by just arranging it so all the units cancel out and give you atoms. Okay, and you will get the exact same answer if you just arrange the numbers so all the other values cancel out and give you atoms. Okay, so Carl Weathers is back. Let's say Carl drove to the airport at 20 meters per second, and it took him an hour to get there. How far away is the airport? Go ahead and try that. Oh, here's an animation of him driving to the airport. Okay? Yes.
72,000 meters.
Yes, about 72 kilometers. Okay? Now, how do you get there? Well, yeah.
I was going to say there's 3,600 seconds in an hour, and you just multiply by 20.
That's a good way to get there. Now, what we're looking for, so for instance, anywhere does it say you need your answer to be in meters or kilometers? So this is what I mean by implied information. What are we looking for that tells us we need a distance?
How far away?
Far away, okay? How far away is the airport? This doesn't say give your answer in meters, okay? But it does imply give a distance, find a distance. So this tells us we want our answer in a distance, so meters or kilometers, okay? And we're given something in meters per second and then something in hours. Hours can be converted to seconds. You're really just trying to cancel seconds, okay? So the best way to cancel seconds, 20 meters per second times some time in seconds. And then, like he said, if you have an hour, 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 times 60 is 3,600, okay? So this becomes 20 times 3,600, that is 72,000 meters or 72 kilometers, okay? All right, let's try and answer that other question. Okay, some A, some B. Let's discuss, we'll vote again. All right, it's converging on the correct answer. So, it's going to be larger than 100. How many meters are in a kilometer?
1.609.
Wait, what?
1,000?
No. They answered the wrong question.
No.
Oh.
Kilometer. How many meters are in a kilometer?
1,000.
1,000. How many meters are in a mile?
1,600.
Yeah, 1,600. Okay, so which one's bigger? Mile. A mile contains more meters. So when you convert to kilometers, you should get a larger number because you have to fit more. Okay? So that's going to be B. All right? Now, you're allowed to use your phones in class, so if you weren't sure how many meters were in a mile versus a kilometer, that's something you can look up. Okay? Googling is fine except for during an exam. All right? Labs, in class, totally fine. All right? So here's some unit conversion, okay? This comes up a surprising amount. People like to ignore it, but you should probably know from like pico to, well, I mean, if you have a computer, you probably know up to tera. Yeah, if your hard drive is in kilobytes, you need a new computer. Hey, that's the thing. So just if you don't remember these, this is a really good, either memorize it or start writing it on your cheat sheet, okay? Because not knowing this can be semi-catastrophic if you guess wrong, all right? Because if you guess wrong, you're usually off by at least 1,000, which is 10 to the third, and that means your answer's off by 10 to the third, and that's bad, okay? So, yeah, here's our powers, and there's, I don't have it on here. There's a really terrible mnemonic device. It's like Microsoft made no profits from anyone's Zune. And then Karl Marx gave the proletariat 8 Zeppelins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not good ones, but if you can come up with a good mnemonic device is just a way to like remember it with a stupid sentence. So like you know, what's the planet one? Like, my very excellent mother just sat under and then knew, and then you just quit because Pluto's gone.
Yeah.
But
R.I.P.
yeah. So that's that. So let's say if Carl is half a mile from the airport, what is that in meters?
800.
About 800 meters. Okay? And you can be a little bit more precise because you'll see it's not exactly 1600, it's 1609. But it depends on how many sick pigs we care about. So let's just call it 1600. Okay? Yes.
When it comes to unit conversions, will any of those be given, or should we just like know the front of the book?
Oh.
The front cover. So like miles and like
The only ones I'm
centimeters
gonna-
to inches, like all the.
I will expect you to. No, most of them will be given. Like, honestly, this stuff is mostly like just groundwork for what we'll actually be putting on the first test, which will be more like actual position. I'm going to be way more concerned with the physics concepts, not just like dinging you on not remembering the conversion between miles and meters. Okay, so let me just like say this on a test. If you forgot to put something on your cheat sheet, something dumb that you could look up with Siri, okay, do not just take like a loss on that. You can come up and ask me, and I'll make fun of you a little bit, but I'll let you know what the conversion is. Okay, so our purpose here is not to like be nitpicky about stuff like this that you can look up. It's about learning how to solve hard problems. So if you forgot to put miles to meters on your cheat sheet, or you don't know what nano is, okay, I mostly ask you to put it on your cheat sheet because if all of you ask me what nano is, I'm going to be annoyed. Okay, so like if you honestly forgot and you just need that help, come ask me. But if all of you are just lazy, then I'm gonna get mad and make you memorize stuff. Okay, so like be cool. Yeah. But yeah, these are prefixes. These are just good to know in case you want to impress your friends. And these are just good to know in case you go to any other country. Just saying. All right. Let's try this one out.
Okay, so we're going to look through this problem. This one probably doesn't require any kind of picture, but just to start out with, we're given a few little pieces of information. So we know what the speed limit is. We know the car is traveling at a particular speed, and then we're given this nice box of conversions. Okay, so we start with 38 meters per second. We're writing it like this because we're going to use this sort of ladder method or crossing out method to get our conversions. So we need to go from meters to miles. And so there's lots of different ways to do this. I'm just going to do one, but for every 1 kilometer, you have 1,000 meters. Okay. Then we go down here and we use our mile to kilometer conversion. So for every 1 mile, you have 1.609 kilometers. Now this is important because these last two things, we canceled out meters, and now we're canceling out kilometers. So you just have to set these up to cancel out the stuff you don't want and convert to the stuff you do want. But we still have seconds, so that means we have to go from seconds to hours. So that means the seconds is in the denominator, so we put seconds in the numerator here. We know 3,600 seconds is equal to 1 hour. So that means we can cancel these things out. Seconds. And when we put all this together, it's going to equal 85.0 miles per hour. But what are we comparing this to? The question is the car exceeding the speed limit, not what speed is the car going. So that means that because 85 miles per hour is greater than the speed limit, 75 miles per hour, we are exceeding the speed limit.